It's really great and to be back in Houston and at the Zen Center following some time visiting family, and really just great to take you all in this morning. I think 5 of our Sangha friends will be wrapping up their week at Tassajara Zen Mountain Monastery with the abbot and assistant priest Royce for what's known as a Sangha week. So a week of practicing and sitting together, eating together, hiking, talking, and many other delightful things, I'm sure. So we'll get to see them and hear about their adventure soon. And even though Galen Roshi is not present, I want to offer my gratitude for her teaching and her practice and this opportunity to share my practice reflections with you this morning. And deep gratitude to you all for being here, and deep gratitude for all of you in the camera and in the computer. Thank you so much. And just really a miraculous thing, I think, to be here together. I think as miraculous as our own birth. So, again, thank you. As it happens, this Sunday, marks something a little bit new for me, a bit of a beginner's mind moment in 29 years. Some of you know about this. So later in the day, I will not begin preparing to be a band director to middle school age children tomorrow morning. Someone else has stepped into that position and that function, and my heart and warm thoughts are with them, because it not in an ominous way. I want it to sound like that. It's not that at all. But it does have some, this it's a poignant moment, and for the last few weeks especially, a lot of reflection. All of the necessary paperwork and cleaning up the band room and checking inventory and sending things off for repair and cleaning up email and files and turning the keys in happened in May, but that's a usual process. That's a usual pattern and procedure at the end of any school year. So this retirement from the band role, that really hasn't churned so much until the last few weeks. There's this habit, this habitual energy that's been churning for a long time and in different ways. And here we are in August, and it has rolled around, and I've shared with a few of you that there's just restlessness that I have felt, and just kind of noticing and practicing with a little bit. And it's not just in my mind, but it's like, down to my toes. It's everywhere. This just interesting quality. And I'm attributing it to this event. So in reflecting on this and just letting it kind of rise and fall over the past couple of weeks, maybe another word I give that restlessness is a little bit of homesickness, just a little bit. And I just returned from home. And so reflecting on what is home, where is home? A band hall was a home away from home for decades, since 1981, since the 1900s. When I was a middle schooler learning to play an instrument, it was a place, all of the different band halls were places of joy and frustration and tears and laughter and acceptance. And so in my memory, those band halls still offer a place of refuge in my heart. And as I mentioned, I just returned from home with family to come back home to HCZ, and both also offering, a place of refuge in my heart in different ways at different times. So maybe think of home for you and the home that offers refuge for you. It may not be your childhood home. It may not be a location or a structure. It may be many, many things, is my guess. It is many, many things, many layers. But what is home? What do you picture? Where is it? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? And breathe. I'd like to share 2 exchanges with you from Suzuki Roshi with his students. This is at Tassajara in 1967 during what's called a Shosan ceremony. If you've been to a Shuso ceremony here or a lay entrustment ceremony here, they're similar. In this Shosan ceremony, probably during a practice period, all of the resident monks in the monastery come into the zendo, and each one of them, which may be 40 or 50 people, takes their turn, approaches Suzuki Roshi, and bows 3 times, asks their question, their heart question, asks their question. There's a reply. They do their 3 bows, and then the next person moves forward. So the exchanges in the transcripts are relatively short, so I've been taking them, reading some of those transcripts. So a student asks, Roshi, I have 2 questions. Where is home? What is true strength? Suzuki Roshi says, when you start wandering about, there is no home, there is no strength. But if you find your home in this moment, at this place, you have enough strength to practice our way, and home is right here. So I think Suzuki Roshi is referencing Dogen's words in the Fukan Zazengi in the beginning, or the opening. Dogen writes, indeed, the whole body is far beyond the world's dust. Who could believe in a means to brush it clean? It is never apart from one, right where one is. What is the use of going off here and there to practice? So our true home, our true strength is right now, right here, the present moment. Our true home is not outside of ourselves. We're carrying around our true home all the time. Later on in the ceremony, another student asks, Roshi, how or why has this come about that we can feel that we have lost our home and make the journey to return to it? How? Why is this? Suzuki Roshi says, your feeling is opposite. You think you started your journey from home, but real home is here. Don't go wandering about to various countries. And again, there's that reference from Dogen's writing in the Fukan Zazengi. Why leave behind the seat that exists in your home and go aimlessly off to the dusty realms of other lands? If you make one misstep, you go astray from the way directly before you. The way directly within each of us, that true home, that true nature. We are carrying that with us when we journey to other places, whether to the gate, to the foyer, to Ethiopia, to Colombia, to Japan, all of the places, to Millsap, Texas. And the student goes on to say, I understand that, but I wonder why it is that we do that. And Suzuki again says, in a little bit different way, you feel you started your journey from your home. And I think here he's talking about from your home that you think is outside of yourself, which is not true home. It was not true home. Yet I know that is my nature when, looking at that quality of homesickness I mentioned earlier, there's something I'm trying to grab onto a little bit. And that's okay, because there are some really beautiful things mixed into that. But what else is there to look at and to see? And Suzuki Roshi again says, you must feel as if you came back to your home right now. Come back to your home right now. I could imagine him hitting something. Come back to your home right now. So every moment is our true home of just complete interconnectedness. So maybe you think about coming back to your home right now. What does that look like for you? Let's really give it some of those words and qualities of some of the Mahayana sutras. So here we, bedazzle it, bejewel it, your home. We often spend a lot of time negating ourselves. But what does that look like? Does it have mile-high redwood trees and tulips that last for 1,000,000 miles that are 10 feet tall? So, really, what does that look like for you? I hope it's a place of connectedness and a place of refuge. It's a place of refuge that it's already there. So every Sunday morning in our service, as we did this morning, we chant, I take refuge in Buddha before all beings, not just those of us that were here in Zoom or, in the Zendo, but before all beings. Immersing body and mind deeply in the way, awakening our true mind, awakening our true home, coming back to our true home, which we never really left, but yet we do. And we're not doing it alone. It's always with others. When we chanted that this morning, was not the whole universe there? It's not like the universe was somewhere else and we were chanting that. It's like right there the whole time. I take refuge in Dharma before all beings, entering deeply the merciful ocean of Buddha's way. That line often comes up for me, entering deeply the merciful ocean of Buddha's way. All things, all the time, are Dharma, are the teaching. Everything is practice. And then I take refuge in Sangha before all beings, bringing harmony to everyone, free from hindrance. Again, not alone. Before all beings and with all beings. So this precious life, our true home, our Buddha nature, our awakened nature, right there, moment after inconceivable moment. And maybe our true home is also filled conventionally with a great walk-in closet. with many hats and accessories, which assist us in carrying on, our different roles and positions, which we occupy with different responsibilities, different aspirations and influences. And then to remind ourselves not to take them too seriously as being me. So just as in our one-day sittings and our sessions, we make this tremendous effort to practice wholeheartedly with the position or functions assigned to us. That might be the role of the doan who rings the bell, or the tanto and ino who helps to guide the day, or a server who helps to serve the food. But it is not you, it is your function or your role for the day or the week. You can practice putting it on and taking it off. So me in the role of band director has changed, and as we know and experience, things change. We know we may lose or have places transformed that we call dear, places that we call home, but alongside the changing, the unchanging coexists right there as well. The unchanging interconnectedness. Now when I visit my parents, it's very important to me to just be there, to be present. To show love in that moment, however our paths have been, just to be there, making that moment a home. Making that moment a home. Coming to the Zen Center may also feel like coming home. Is there something about this place, this practice that allows us to feel at home? Allows us to find a place within ourselves that feels grounded and settled. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes. And quite easy and quick to say, yes, everything is practice, and that we know that comes with suffering, and that comes with challenges. But to be able to sit with that, be with that together, to be able to bear it together. I'll share with you some words from Josho Pat Phelan. She's the abbot at Chapel Hill Zen Center. And it reminded me of taking refuge in our true home, our true nature. And she writes, moment after moment, be willing to surrender. Just step forward without looking to the left or right, without looking to the future or referring to the past. Be willing to let go of distractions, to let go of insights. Be willing to let the tracking mind stop and return to your being just as it is. Our practice is to return to this complete, undivided moment. And moment after moment, what can we continue to do in our lives to take care of each other? We can ask ourselves, what action embodies compassion in this moment? Which action embodies our true home in this moment? Share another teaching from Zenki, the late Zenki Blanche Hartman Roshi. She had the great opportunity to study with Suzuki Roshi in the 70s and help with the establishment of San Francisco Zen Center, serving as their very instrumental in bringing the sewing practice to the West. And she writes, Suzuki Roshi used to say, see everyone as Buddha. See each being as Buddha. See yourself as Buddha. And if we're all Buddha, if we are all interconnected like that, or inter-are, as Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned master of Vietnamese Zen, would say, then an all-encompassing love has to be our experience. So for me, having that understanding, I just don't know how to say how meaningful it is to me and how much I hope you will have this experience in your life of this warm-hearted connection with everyone, with all beings. We are interwoven with each other. I am in you and you are in me. And to come into your own realization of this deep connection that you have with all beings is the greatest gift that you could get, your homecoming. I want to bring that up because Suzuki Roshi is talking about taking good care of ourselves and being very kind with ourselves. And I find lots of times in my practice that I'm not really being very kind to myself. I speak very harshly to myself in my head. I'm not doing something right, or I'm not doing enough of it, or I'm not ... I think about being kind with others, the image from the loving kindness meditation of suffusing love over the entire world, above, below, and all around without limit, so that one cultivates an infinite goodwill toward the whole world. And I find such an inspiring aspiration that I really hope you will all get to that point sometime. But in the beginning, you have to be kind with yourself. It's very hard to be kinder to others than you are to yourself. So take a good look and see if you're appreciating the Buddha in you, if you're appreciating your connection with others, if you have some warm-hearted feeling for your life and your practice and your Sangha and your family. Can you see that you are connected? And how is your next breath? Are you taking care of it? Suzuki Roshi talks a bit about taking care of your breath like a mother takes care of her baby. How are you doing? Are you taking care of your breath? Taking good care of yourself? You yourself are your own true home. So maybe wherever you go next, wherever we go next, or the next time you sit down on your cushion or step into your car, say, I'm home. And then reply, welcome back. And just letting that roll around forever. Thank you very much.